The word bully was invented in 1560. It originally meant best friend. I'm not even kidding. It's a Middle Dutch word that meant loved one. If I lived in the 1500s and I wanted to introduce you to all my best friends, the most important people in my life, I would say, come meet my bullies. These are all my bullies. I love all of them. At the end of my life, all that matters is how I interact with my bullies and my bullies interact with me. I love you, bullies. We love you. This is my most special bully, my sweetheart. 14 years she's been bullying me. Yeah. I love her. And I have two little munchkins, little bullies. They've been bullying me, and I've been bullying them since we were born. I bully you. I bully you too. It means loved one. What the heck happened? Well, as all words do, they change over time. And certainly that was the case for the word bully. By the 1700s, the word bully morphed from loved one to mean anything good. So people would say, bully for you. It would mean good for you. Oh, that's bully. Oh, that's good. In the 1900s, that's exactly what it meant. And our president, Teddy Roosevelt, would actually use the word bully in all of his speeches, like it was going out of style. The guy really brought it in vogue. He would use the word bully all the time. In fact, he used it in every speech. There was a story of our president, Teddy Roosevelt, being shot through the lungs. Went to the hospital. Shortly thereafter, gave a 3-hour speech to a huge congregation of people. He used the word bully over a dozen times in that speech, and he even ended the word saying, bully! And all the people near the White House said, bully! It meant good, great, victory is ours. In fact, it was Teddy Roosevelt who called the White House a bully what? Pulpit. And in his words, the White House was a bully pulpit, meaning the greatest platform in the world to do the most good. So what happened? Now the word means something totally different, doesn't it? Now the word means like mean person, evil person, personality disorder, I hate you, you're a jerk, punk, loser, meanie, you hurt my feelings. Bullies aren't cool, kick them out of school, the slogan goes. It is so interesting as I walk through the hallways of so many schools throughout the country, seeing posters, hate bullies, bullies aren't cool, no bully zone. I think how much the word has changed. It was in the 1970s that the word took on a new meaning. There was a Norwegian researcher by the name of Dr. Dan Olweus, spelled O-L-W-E-U-S, Olweus. And Dr. Dan Olweus, known as the father of the anti-bullying movement, was commissioned by his government to research problems in the schoolyard. You know, social conflict, name-calling, social exclusion, insults, verbal bullying, pushing and shoving, gossip, rumors, choosing between friends, any behavior that caused stress and increased hostilities on campus. He was going to study every single one of those. And he wanted to use one word to describe all negative social conflict behavior. So he thought of the word mobbing. In 1970, that's the word that he wanted to use, mobbing, because there had been other research studies that followed chickens and how they all gang up on a weaker chicken and peck him to death sometimes. You know what I'm saying, right? If you've seen it, like I have, because I raised chickens, at least my boys do. I'm allergic. And there the chickens are. Sure enough, there's a pecking hierarchy order. And the big chicken, the Kuna Matata, right? The big hen, or even the rooster, whoever's the biggest and the baddest, will peck everybody into submission. And there's always that one little guy that gets less food because they're pecked out of the way, gets isolated, pecked and picked on. And it's sometimes even to the point of death. That's what he wanted to study. He says, I'm seeing the same things in the animal kingdom as I am seeing in humanity. The same thing in the environment of a farm or a chicken coop that I see in the schoolyard. But there was one little difference between the mobbing behavior of chickens and the social conflict behavior of humans, or the mobbing behavior of humans. Sometimes kids would get their feelings hurt, not just when a whole group ganged up on them, like a group of chickens would gang up on the weak one, but when one child would say something else to another child, and that's not mobbing, but it's only a single person against a single person. So mobbing wasn't good enough. So he chose the word bullying. Bullying. He used the word and took a risk and changed its meaning forever. And his research has transformed how we view social conflict. He said there's 3 things that he sees. 3 things that have to be in order to call it bullying. Number 1, there's an imbalance of power. Kids are not equal, but someone has power over the other. And sometimes you're not sure what it is, because one kid will insult another kid and have his feelings hurt, and the other kid will come back with the worst insult, and this guy will get upset, but this guy will get the final insult, and this guy, whoever's the last one standing at insults or hurting the feelings of another, the highest one on the dominating scale wins. He's the bully. He's the winner. He's the dominator, the intimidator. And the weak one is the victim. So he says, bullying, first and foremost, is an imbalance of power. Now, you know this has nothing to do with size or strength, because we've seen little cheerleaders drive big old strong football players crazy and bully them. If it's pasta night and you've got a 2-year-old who's trying to learn how to eat, they'll bully you by driving you crazy and throwing it on the floor, and you got to clean up their mess. Bullying has nothing to do with size. Little toddlers can drive older siblings or even parents crazy, but rather the imbalance of power described power to drive someone crazy, power to get someone upset, power to hurt someone's feelings. And if someone can maintain power over another person, then they win and the victim loses. That's what he said is bullying. It's what social scientists properly call dominance behavior. Everyone say dominance behavior. That's the word I wish Dan Oveus would have used. It would have helped a lot. But he chose the word bullying, so we have to use it. He says there's really a dominance behavior of power over someone to drive me crazy. Number 2, the second definition is that they enjoy inflicting pain. They get pleasure from inflicting pain. The bully loves driving the other one crazy. For the kids here, you may have a little brother or sister that loves to drive you crazy, and you vice versa. That's dominance behavior. That's someone who says, look at my knuckle. I don't want to look at your knuckle. In the back seat of a car while mom's driving, saying, get along. Don't let this get out of hand. Look at my knuckle. I don't want to look at your knuckle. What's on your knuckle? You got to look at it, then look at it. I don't want to look at your knuckle. Who knows where your hands have been? Your fingers pick your nose. You eat your boogers. You're adopted. I hate you. Look at my knuckle. What's on your knuckle? Ow, your eyeball. That kid loves to drive the other one crazy. And that other one will try to drive that kid crazy by insulting him, saying, you're not part of the family. We don't like you. Mom doesn't love you. I'm dad's favorite. We love to drive each other crazy. I'll give you a secret on how to end sibling rivalry in a bit. First thing, imbalance of power. Second thing, the bully loves driving the other one crazy. The third thing is they repeat it over time. It happens again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I'm like a rapper. It happens again and again and again and again. So what Dan Oveus described, we all have seen. It says nothing about sociopathic behavior. It talks about human behavior. Some of us have driven other people crazy, called them insult, and loved it because we hurt their feelings. Why? Because we got a little bit of evil in all of our hearts. So bullying, imbalance of power, pleasure for pain. It's like this. Let me illustrate it. I hate your guts. Be quiet. Never. You're hurting my feelings. That's the point, dummy. I hate you. I don't care. Ah! You see? But what would happen if we empowered children? Remember, bullying is an imbalance of power. And if your child is consistently on the low end of the social spectrum and others are on the high end of the social spectrum, we think the way to help our child is by getting rid of the bully. Good luck with that. The real answer is to empower your child. So it looks like this. I hate your guts. That's nice. The mean person tries to ramp it up, but they know they're losing. You smell like body odor. You're nasty. Thanks for the information. They'll even be worse. Your face is ugly. You have a face of an angel, sweet cheeks. The key to empower a child to not be overpowered or bullied by another kid is to build up their resilience. Everyone say resilience. Resilience is awesome. Resilience is awesome. Resilience is the ability to be torn down, but get back right up. Resilience is like a spring that is compressed, but then returns to its original form without being harmed. Resilience is the ability to go through adversity. And by the way, resilience is only developed through adversity. Some people think we can develop kids' resilience by protecting them from adversity, but that's not true. The only way to grow in resilience is to go through adversity. And when it comes to bullying, I firmly believe and totally convinced that bullying or social conflict is an opportunity for us as parents and educators to get on the same page and build up the resilience of our child so that they can learn the social skill of resilience and ultimately, what I'm going to teach you, the golden rule. And those social skills will serve them well their whole life, since there's a life of people trying to dominate each other. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but bullying, which is really called dominance behavior, is not necessarily a terrible thing. We think it's terrible. But if you really think about it, the desire to dominate is leadership. Leadership. But the desire to dominate at someone else's expense, which is what bullying is poor leadership, or leadership fueled by the vice of hate. And corporate America is full of this style of leadership. But there is another way to lead. We do want our children to dominate. We do want them to be on the high end of the social spectrum, but we need to teach them how to dominate through the virtue of love and not the vice of hatred. Your child can become a dominating leader, but we must teach them how to do it through the golden rule rather than through bullying. There's an old proverb that says, if you want friends, you must first show yourself to be friendly. And basically that's teaching, as you're friendly to others, they will reciprocate that and want to be friendly back. It's pretty incredible.